Hello, welcome to Chocolate for Breakfast. This is actually an add-on to part two of the video about motivation and willpower. I was told, in fact, that the video cut out before the end. I don't pre-visualize them, I just publish them directly, so I didn't actually know that it hadn't actually gone all the way to the end for some reason. So just to finish what I was saying about the woman that I knew before, so she'd had the children and she'd decided to lose the weight. And I'm actually not sure, thinking about it, if there wasn't some kind of willpower element in what she was doing. I believe she might have been doing I'm not going to give the marks out, the brands, but a special cereal that has a special, you eat 30 grams of their cereal every day and then you'll lose weight. Okay, so I can't help raising my eyes at those kind of things. um, it's just so silly. We just take everything so much for granted. So what basically happened was, where I had, seen her at one point and I thought she was just a lovely looking woman, a very natural, healthy looking woman, she actually lost weight. And I remember one day she was standing with her back to me and I couldn't help notice that her shoulder here and the collarbone, well, the collarbone's at the front, but the bones were sticking out and her shoulder blades were sticking out without her actually doing any particular movement towards the back. There wasn't any movement, her arms were straight, even in front of her, and the shoulder blades were sticking out under the skin and the bones were apparent under the skin. And for me, I actually have to admit there was a certain sense of disgust seeing her like that. And I don't mean that in a really horrible way, but when I see somebody that is that thin, for me it's not a sign of good health. And particularly for a woman. Naturally, women are supposed to have more fat cells than men, so we are actually supposed to have a bit more flesh on us than men would normally have. And the thing that really did actually get me in the end was that because she'd lost all the weight and she was very, very thin, she didn't have any bosom left. Her bosom was flat. And because she didn't feel like a woman, she went and got a breast implant. And I'm thinking, what is the point of that? We want to look natural and healthy. And I would say that most men, if you're a woman, what's attractive is looking natural and healthy. Some men are perhaps attracted to the stick insect look, but I think it's actually a psychological thing where they're so impressed with the media images that for them is a sign of success to have their partner who is extremely thin, stick insect like. But I think the majority of people find that a woman that has just a little bit, not too much obviously, and even then I know some men who like big women, who actually prefer big women. So the most important thing about all of this is your health. And I really do insist upon that. The idea is to eat healthily and feel okay in the way that you are. I'm not terribly thin. I would say I'm a normal weight. If you calculate the body mass index, I am a normal weight for my size. Maybe some people would like to see me thinner. I don't really give a damn about what they think. I feel fine and I feel healthy the way I am, and I think that's really what's important. So just to finish, I kind of have a question for you. Just want to put something by you. And before I do that, I just want to talk about one last thing, which I actually forgot. It's good that the video cut out because I'd actually forgotten to say this. Again, I don't use any notes, so I can actually forget the things that I have in my mind. But this one's actually really important. A study was done, now I'm actually quoting Michael Neal here, who talks about this in his book, Effortless Success. And I hope he doesn't mind me quoting him. But he talks about this study that was done in the 30s in the United States. And basically what they did was they got these children, very young children, into a place, and the children were allowed to have as much food as they wanted. It was like a food free for all. And there was everything possible was there, you know. They had access to sweets and cakes and also lots of different, maybe more healthy foods. They had access to everything. And if you ever get a chance to listen, Michael Neal tells it in a very, very nice way. And I'm not doing the story justice in the way I'm telling it. Basically what happened, once the children got over the novelty of being able to eat as many sweets and cakes as they wanted, so that lasted maybe a couple of days, they very naturally, and this brings me to the video that I did last Friday, the Friday tip, where I asked you to write down the foods that you were naturally drawn to. The children actually started very naturally eating healthier foods and making the sweets and the cakes more of an exception, or they weren't eating them at all. So my question kind of today for you is, if you could choose to eat without taking into account motivation or willpower, what would you eat? What would you eat if you didn't have to use willpower to control what you're doing? What would you eat? And I'll be very, very happy if you wanted to send me your replies or write some comments. Apparently you can, I'm fairly new to YouTube, apparently you can subscribe. So if you wanted to subscribe, please do, that would be nice. Just think about that idea a little bit and see what you come up with. Okay, so thanks for listening, and I hope it's been helpful once more, and here's to your very good health. Thank you, bye-bye.